La Peña is proud to present and sponsor this third installment of the Couchconcert series in collaboration with Peña Cultural Center, featuring special guest Karl Perazzo on percussion. As we prepare to open our doors once again to the public for in-person events, we are also making concerts available to people in their homes all over the world. So thank you for joining us as we pilot live concerts from La Peña. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to the creator of the Couchconcert series, my friend, Miguelito Martínez.
Hello, Natalia.
Hello.
¿Cómo estás? Gracias por invitarnos acá. Esto
Es un placer tenerlos.
No, de verdad que es impresionante porque todo empezó en la casa, en la sala, y ahora ya todo lo que tenemos. Pero muchísimas gracias a la Peña por hacer esto, y gracias también a Peña Cultural Center, porque esto es la primera vez. Esa era como la visión que tenía, cómo poder juntar estas dos organizaciones que puedan trabajar en estos dos lados, ¿no? Además también representar al Bay Area, estas figuras que tenemos tan importantes en la música, ¿no? La vez pasada fue el maestro Karl Cambón, y hoy tenemos estelar también tenemos al maestro Julio de la Cruz en el piano, y al maestro Saul Sierra. Y pues, ¿no? ¿Por qué invité a Karl? También porque hice esto. Son gente con la que desde que vine a este país, pues han sido representantes de mi vida, ¿no? Tanto Edgardo y Karl tiene una figura muy especial, porque él fue, creo que tenía yo como un mes y medio, y recibí una llamada diciéndome, hey, o sea, ¿quieres tocar con nosotros? Estaban haciendo un grupo Karabali. Y dije, ¿what? Porque yo acabo de llegar y siempre era como tenían los discos de Santana y eso, ¿no? Y también saber aquí importante, porque creo que él, sin conocerme, me habló por teléfono un día y dijo, hey, soy mexicano, estoy tocando charanzón. Oh, ok. Y yo ni sabía ni quién era, y llegué al Jellies que existía en ese tiempo, ¿no? It was a long time ago. Y después de eso, conocí a Saul. Ese día conocí a Anthony Blea, y después Anthony me habló a los 2 días, hey, vamos a tocar, y era la rampa. Y es la primera vez que tocaba, tenía un miedo, y de repente llega Karl, you know, estaba Saul, Caro, un montón de celebridades, y así como que, wow, es así como que apenas me estoy bajando, se siente. Y desde ese momento yo creo que han hecho una figura importante en la relación que tengo con la música en ese país. Y por eso el día de hoy invité a Karl, y pues lo quiero invitar a este escenario para que esté con nosotros y nos platique un poquito más de su vida.
Everybody enjoy these wonderful musicians who are truly Bay Area treasures. Thank you so much for being here.
Gracias a ti.
Thank you.
Hello, Karl. So, like I say, it's gonna be bilingual.
Yeah, bilingual.
No, Spanish. Just kidding. So, first of all, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
And you know, this is like people there. Like I'm so truly honored to be here this time. That we played many times, but this is the first time like this setup is totally different. It's amazing, and I feel really that the energy even like before I played. So thank you. I'm really blessed for that.
Thank you.
And always about this concert, we talk about your life. Who's Karlperazzo?
Who's Karlperazzo? Karlperazzo is a young guy born in the Mission, San Francisco, California. Born and raised, and a big lover of music. All music. I grew up listening to jazz, Latin, funk, Beatles, Monkees. So I had a really good surrounding of music, and then my cousins turned me on to rock and roll. They turned me on to Santana, and from there, you know, it was a childhood dream, you know, to play with Santana, and my dream came true. But before Santana, you know, I got the blessings to play with Sheila E. and go on the Purple Rain tour and raised with the Escobedos, and I got to play with Cal Jader when I was in the 6th grade. So a lot of music, a lot of music came into my life, and I've always been a big supporter of La Peña Cultural Center here. So we have to applaud them for still keeping music alive. If you're ever in Berkeley, California, please come and visit La Peña Cultural Center. It will change your life because it's like really cultural, underground, but family gathering place. I can't tell you how many times I've performed here. And here I am again with some of the monsters of the Bay Area. And thank you very much, guys, for having me. I appreciate it. And we want to just inspire everybody and let you know that music is still alive. And this is another avenue that we can take now. We could go into your living room. We have people that come and visit us from all over the world. So this is just another format that we can reach out and try to inspire you at home. We so appreciate you joining us tonight. And this night we want to dedicate to all the musicians that struggled for the last 18 months and 2 years and still struggling now. All the artists, not just musicians, comedians, a whole dancers, just a bunch of people, DJs, a bunch of people that really, really love music. Today I think we're going to do an array of music.
Yeah, this is natural. This is like you're my coach. The thing is like, we start in my living room. I have a couch, and then Ori say, hey, why not we do La Peña? Oh man, okay, we're here. And we try to pretend we're in my couch, there's many natural things. So we're gonna play many different things.
Okay.
I don't know what, but that's the natural thing.
Okay.
And before we start playing, I just wanna say you have your new brand of congas.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
This is the brand of Latin percussion LP instruments. I have the bongo, I have the congas and the timbales, I have bells. And the significance of this conga that you see, most people just see skeletons. This is not what it's about. It's a little bit deeper than that. This is the sugar skull as we know it in a commercial market, but this is Dia de los Muertos. And this is in our culture that we honor the people that have left this earth and went on to big and better things. And these drums, these skulls here, these are significance of the great drummers before me. Tito Puente, Ray Barreto, Mongo, Patato, all the guys that inspire me to play. Armando Perazzo, Francisco Abella, Candido, everybody that, my mom and my dad, and so for me, I want to pay homage to the people that inspire me to be the person that I am today. Not only the musician side, but the person side. Because the people that I talked to, that I mentioned, were the most humble people and great teachers. Life lessons. What to do and what not to do. So these drums are in honor of them. This is what this means. Right. So we dedicate this up to everybody, mm-hmm. Everyone. We all have our inspirations, right? And this is the way I want to channel them.
And talking about percussion, so we're gonna have more conversation. But why not you play a little bit?
I could.
Okay.
But 18 months, I kind of forgot how to, but I'll remember. Shoot, come on. Excuse me.
Es un final inesperado, ¿no?
Not bad for the first number, right?
Ajá.
Let's see some hands out there. Let's see some hands.
So, tell me something. How you remember the mission? So, how was it to live in the mission, to grow up in the mission?
To live in the mission when I was a kid was a whole world in itself. Actually, I didn't even know anything existed outside of the mission because we had everything inside the barrio, you know. And the first time that I went to another part of San Francisco, say like, you know, Chinatown or sometime, we went to go dinner, and I was like, man, I didn't even know this existed, you know. Because the barrio, you know, when you grew up at that time, every block there used to be like 20 kids there were so many kids, so you never had to leave. So you just play until, you know, especially on the weekends, from the morning all the way till late night, you know. But I would always take a time out and bring my drums out and play for the kids, all my friends. They wanted to hear me play all the time, you know. So I bring my conga drums, get everyone, try to get involved, you know. It was a great time to be in the mission, man. Just a wonderful time. You could go drive around and you could walk around and hear music everywhere. It was a great time.
You know, I asked you this because the first time I came here, and I went to the San Francisco, and I struggled a lot before, like, you know, when I was living in Mexico, I was really independent and everything, but then I moved here.
Yeah.
And I always say, I didn't want to come here. This is something that story, like, you know, I have a different story from everybody. I was good in Mexico, but then, you know, you've been in love with somebody who was living here, and so I was brought like a souvenir, you know. and so I was here, but for me, one of the most important things is my language. And at that time, I couldn't even speak one word in English.
Yeah.
So it was super hard for me to express, you know, myself with the people. And I was living in Marin, and I feel so lonely for so many times.
That's
you
a
know,
different
I was
body,
walking, yeah, I was walking, and then I didn't see anybody on the street, you know. And I remember the first time I took a bus, and then to Marin, to San Francisco, you know, I remember walking like...
but it's funny what he's saying.
Yeah, walking like a half an hour to get to the one bus, and then to another bus, and then I went to downtown San Francisco. You waltz, I saw the people, and then say, you gotta go to the mission. And I went to the mission, and then I hear the Spanish. And I felt that time, you know?
It's a real body. So I understand what he's saying. Marin is a whole different area, you know. It's across the Golden Gate Bridge. So when you went to the mission, how did you feel?
So, like I say, when I literally started like singing all this in Spanish, the tamales, you know, el elotero, pozole, and wow, I say, wow, now I feel like home, because I have a pressure, you know, because I couldn't even speak my language, you know, just with my ex-wife. But it was super hard. But that time was good, because I went to the mission, and I started writing music.
Yeah.
And like, you know, that was one of the things. And I wrote this song that I want to play with you. Sure. And it's called Contigo. And that particular song is the representation of my loneliness, but also the representation of something that I found it really, truly beautiful, you know, as a community, I don't know. And that's what at the end, you see, it's so mysterious. You're gonna see the last, now you understand what I put that Contigo in. So it's because that was for me all mysterious thing, and that resolved in a mysterious thing when I found in the mission, you know. And I played really slow, you know.
Yep.
This I played like that because that's what I feel the groove, and then it gets more intense. You will hear. I hope you like it. So this is one. It's called Contigo, and it's gonna feature Mr. Karl Perazzo. And also I wanna say thank you to Maestro Saul Sierra aquí en el bajo, Maestro Julio de la Cruz. It's cold. I need my couch. One, two,
Miguel Martinez on the flute. That's a beautiful song, man. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Sure. This is one of the things, like, I used to do more concert, like everybody here, trying to survive and play and everything. And then I decided, I always love education, and I went to the education, but I keep doing these things, and this, after the pandemic hit, I said, wow, I was working a lot, teaching and recording and doing this. And then I decided, what I know, we open this and start inviting these beautiful people in my life, not just you, there's so many here, in the Bay Area. And today, that's what it is, it's feel like you're part of my family, and I really appreciate it. And not just you, Julio and Saul, they have a really important, Saul was, remember Saul, we did the first concert here at La Peña, huh?
Yeah, I remember.
Can you keep passes to Saul that so it was a long time, and I came, I remember this is how we met with Saul. I came here and I had a gig in New Orleans, remember? So I will have a festival in New Orleans. I say, oh, I'm here, but I don't have a band. So in the band, they couldn't come here because they didn't have a visa. So I met Saul, Jose Roberto, and then Jose Roberto introduced me to Saul. And then I say, hey, I have this gig, and it's like in New Orleans. It's for this festival. There's so many. It's a week playing. And he said, what? And say, I have this musician. You can tell a little bit about that.
Yeah, it was really nice to find other musicians from Mexico, like myself. So every time I met someone or heard about someone that knew somebody new that was here from Mexico, I always call them and tell them, come by, so everybody else can hear you. And I remember Jose Roberto and Silvestre told me about you. That's why I called you, and that's the next day we were playing with Anthony, and of course here,
then
Karl was there. Yeah.
And like I said, after that gig, so we De La Rampa, and I wasn't shocked because after a week I think you called because I played that day. That was funny because this is another person I wanted to acknowledge, John Calloway. So he was my teacher when I came here at the jazz school. And I remember he said, what are you going to teach you? Let's go play. So in that day, he was playing with Anthony on the piano. He said, I'm going to play the piano, and you're going to play the flute. I say, okay. So, and then you and everybody, and then the next week, I got this call from you. And that was super beautiful. I say, wow, that's my dream come true. I played with this, Michael Spiro, and Jeff Grisman, Bill Ortiz, all of these things, and then we started, remember, the Santana at that time stopped playing, and we have the Karabali. Yeah. You can go talk about
No, I know we're mentioning a lot of names, John Calloway and Anthony Vallejo. All these guys are pillars in the community. They all started when we were kids. John Calloway he's a maestro and now teaching at colleges, at that time, we had just finished Supernatural, and we were hitting it very, very hard. Multi-Grammy award-winning album, and just touring, hitting it hard, and then we decided we should take a little break. So we took about maybe a year off, and within that year, that's when I started Karabali. I had my other group, Avance, since 1991. It was a bigger salsa band with Armando Cordova and Jeffrey, Jimmy Lewis. Mm-hmm. And that band was already very well established and working all the time. And then when I started this conjunto, the Conga Bongo with Michael Spiro, and we decided to call it Karabali. And we had talked about getting a flute player, and I said, I know this new kid in town, we should call him, And we're very blessed, in the Bay Area. It's always been like that. The Bay Area of San Francisco's been one big revolving door. Musicians come in and then they go out. They try to go to New York or Los Angeles. They try to go different places, and everyone just keeps coming back to San Francisco. Because there's no place like this city. This is one of the last few cities where musicians hug each other. We love each other, man. This is, like he said, this is, so Saul and I played last night at a bar. So we don't care where we play, as long as it could be the Chase Center, or it could be at the Madison Square Garden, or it could be here at La Peña, or at Bar Flux. It doesn't matter. We want to continue to spread the music and the energy, and to create this, this new platform to where we, the musicians, are able to come into your living room now. You don't have to come and see us, but we want you to. If you live in San Francisco, please support live music. If you live in San Jose, please support live music, okay? But I know we have people all over the world: Mexico, Colombia, Venezuela, Peru, Argentina, Chile. I have many friends and many fans all over across Europe, in Iran, Afghanistan, and Dubai. Many fans. So we have this new platform to where we can, and all we have to do is just a touch of a button, and you support us right away. We're not asking for much. We're just asking you to share a little bit of your life with us and enjoy some open jam session music. I mean, we do have music, but we're just jamming. So again, here at La Peña in Berkeley, the Cultural Center, live on Instagram on Karl P. Perk. So thank you once again. Let's continue the music. I know they don't want to hear us talk.
No, I think they're gonna hear you because I wanna stay forever.
Okay, so check this out.
No, but we're gonna definitely
Okay.
let's play. So let's continue because there's another, you have your mentors, everything. And for me, I have my mentors, but it's not just the flute, it's everything. In one of these,
that one or my mentors?
No.
Okay, that one.
This is from Frank Emilio Flynn. It's one of the most, because we're gonna talk about the Latin music, we're gonna talk Cuban music, and this is one of the pillars. And this one I'm gonna want to feature a little bit of change. So planchando.
Yeah.
So Julio, here in this solos del maestro, veniendo de Cuba, va a tocar como Frank Emilio.
Yeah.
So, esto es para los solos, nomás. Ya ves, ya agarró la forma del está muy serio. Pues estamos en mi casa, están gritando, están haciendo chistes. Esta es la primera vez que veo a Saúl. Está como muy tranquilo, porque si no, híjole, ya está haciendo chistes y todo. Y ese es el punto.
¿Quieres hacer la intro?
Don't let Saul fool you. He might be quiet, but when it comes to the bass, he's a monster.
Ya.
¿Quieres hacer la intro band o cómo está escrito?
¿Cómo se escribe?
¿Cómo está escrito?
One, two, three, and...
talking about.
So,
Yo, you know what I want to do is I want to give all the technical staff here a big hand for being here all day. So we appreciate your hard work and your effort in putting this together. Corey's in the house. And
yeah.
So yeah, thank you all. Thank you once again.
So, another question. So tell me something about, you have many teachers, right? Somebody who really like changed your life. There's many, but if you remember something, you know what I say, one of the first days I want to be like.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, I get it. And that's really a loaded question, right? It's like, who inspired me? Like, I'm going to start with my mother and father, period. But since life is so deep and vast, many people are going to come into your life and inspire you in many, many different ways. And on a musical level, I would have to say Tito Puente, for sure. But along that, there's so many others, whether it be Giovanni Hidalgo, Anthony Carrillo, Mark Quiñones, Bobby Allende, and even going back, Ralphie Rosari, my brother, rest in peace. There's just so many people, Nicky Marrero, Orete Milato. And then there's the other part of the musicians that you don't know, like Armando Perazzo, where they don't teach you anything about music, but they teach you how to treat your fellow human being, how to walk in clean and big shoes, and to represent yourself and the people around you in the most important way, right? How to treat your fellow human beings. So I've had a lot of inspirations like that, you know. Again, what to do and what not to do. It's not always what to do. You also have to look at what not to do. It's important that you learn the yin and yang of life, you know. In music, really I try not to look at it as wrong notes. What doesn't make sense here will make sense in India, or vice versa. So right now, again, we're playing charts, but we have big ears, open mind, open hearts, right? The other thing to learn, Miguel, the biggest inspiration you can have is the music that you play. It can inspire you to no end. The day you lose your passion, you lose your creativity, you're gonna lose your fundamentals on how to play, and everything will go away. Your hearing, your taste, your sight, all the six senses. So always be passionate about your music, because the music is inspiring to no end. Whether I play at Chase Center, or whether I'm here at La Peña Cultural Center here in Berkeley, California, or it's one person or 100,000 people, it's always the same. Montate caballo.
Gracias.
Okay?
Yeah, and this is something that I admire from you and many other people, like the humble, like, you know, you're a monster, you know, a monster in any kind of, but when I met you, and when you always, this like, the humble way, like, you introduce yourself and play, and you know, this is something that I really admire, you know, and like I said, my inspiration, there's many inspiration, but I took that from you, just the music of the rhythms. Sometimes to be, you know, centered, sometimes we can lose it.
Absolutely.
You know,
Life is not easy.
Yeah, but you know, I realized this in the pandemic. You know, this, like you say, something really important. Like the passion. You know, for a moment it was like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna play? You know, I think everybody had that this question, you know. So what's gonna happen, you know? This was a month and then 2 months, and start feeling isolated, you know. And I think everybody started these thoughts, you know, what are you gonna do? And then that's what I decided. I said, you know, I think I'm gonna keep doing just composing. To be honest, I couldn't play. This is the first time that I play my flute for like a long period of time. I was like literally, I put my flute aside. I couldn't.
Yeah, we all did.
I think, I don't know, it happened with everybody, but it was like, I don't know, it was super hard for me. You know, that's what I say. I started doing this kind of thing even at my home, like to feel again the power of music, you know? And that's what I feel so truly honored.
Well, you know, we have to find the silver lining in everything. So, me too. I didn't hit the congas. I didn't play the bongos. I didn't hit a cowbell for over a year. Right? But I learned other things. I finally learned how to cook. You know, I got my jewelry up and running. I make jewelry, which I got a new timbale ring coming out, by the way, with Mario de la Cruz, delacruzjewelry.com. And this is going to be rocking the nation. But I learned other things, but I never stopped listening to music. It's the day you stop listening is the day you stop learning. Okay? So it's okay to not play, because sometimes you have to lose yourself to find yourself. Okay? This instrument these instruments have deep emotions, and when something is taken from you, it's hard to recover from that. You don't understand. It's like losing a loved one. You know, but I've always said that the human being will turn its back on the music before the music turns its back on you. And that's just how it is. But it wasn't a bad thing, right? It wasn't a bad, it's just, okay, wait, this is life. This is serious. We have responsibilities bigger than trying to get a gig at Kokomo's or at the club. It's this pandemic is bigger than all of us, right? So, but we never stop listening. We never stop creating. You know, that's who we are as human beings. You know, we want to be active and within ourselves. You know, and again, now that we have this kind of format, you know, we're able to jam like this. Miguel, this is a great thing. But I'm sure Julio can tell you stories of growing up in Cuba, where you're surrounded by salt, but there's no salt. So you really can't tell him anything different. You know, this is a country that has sugar, and they don't have sugar. So this is a country that if you want to get a piece of rope, you might have to go all the way to the other island for a piece of rope. And it might be 6 inches long. Not the rope you wanted. But they have the spirit to drive all the way over there. That's the difference between the Cubans and us. We go, oh no, it's an hour drive, 40 minutes, 20 minutes, can't do it. Cuba, a pound, get a cab. Okay? So, spirit, passion, this is what's going to get us through. This is what's going to do it. And love, right? This is what it's going to, you know, times are crazy right now. I don't know if you guys watch the news. But right now, I want to be a person, and I'm sure you all agree, I want to be a person that can heal people through sound, resonance, and vibration, tone, through musical notes that's a universal language from here to Africa, and from Africa to here.
Tengo como hablando, lo que es, vamos a darle, Tito Puente, tú dijiste algo muy importante.
Yeah.
¿No? Entonces,
By the way, Tito Puente is our buddy Rich.
oh, yeah.
Okay, that's our buddy Rich. Tito Puente was a figure bigger than life to me. When I first met him, I thought I was just like in awe, standing in front of him. You know? And a lot of stories, but let's continue to play some music.
Yeah. Because we have.
Okay, well, let's say it. Yeah, this is going to be our last song, and we want to thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you all. And please support La Peña Cultural Center.com. Is that right?
.org.
Say again?
.org.
.org. Sorry. .org. Please come and support the music and Miguel and his wonderful, wonderful new TV show that he's having, a streaming show. And there's going to be great musicians that follow. So please stay tuned. We're going to do something by Tito Puente. Thank you, Miguel, for having me.
Thank you.
Julio, Saul, un placer.
Igualmente.
Y vamos a tocar.
luego el maestro Saul cierra, el maestro Julio. Stay in touch for the next Couchconcert, so we have a big surprise. Thank you.